Grace and peace, everybody. Madness in the conscious community. I want to address some. I want to address some things. A lot of people say, "Well, you've been involved in that. What's the main things that you see wrong with it?" Black lies. Black lives matter. And I'm going to talk about a few things, but a lot of things that the people in the conscious community blame us for in the church, in all actuality, they do the same exact things. Young Pharaoh, for instance, young Pharaoh say that, and he's taking this from, I'm going to explain later on where this come from. Black people are 76 trillion years old. People that know the lessons, they may know certain things. People from the Nation of Islam to the gods and everything. But he say black people are 76 trillion years old. He have no scientific proof for that. He makes a lot of statements and they sound like they're scientific and they sound like they're heavy. First of all, young Pharaoh don't quote no books. He don't quote enough scholars for the amount of stuff that he says. And black people want to just accept what this young man is saying, and it's pure madness. And we can prove a lot of stuff that he say is unscientific. It goes against mainstream science. Now, I'm saying that to say what the conscious community walks in blind faith. What made me leave the conscious community? One thing above everything is the lies. A whole bunch of lies. Napoleon didn't shoot the nose off of the Finks. Napoleon and the European Freemasons, and this is where we got the 21 gun salute in the military. I used to believe that madness. I don't care what Anthony Browder say. I don't accept that anymore because we have sources to the contrary. Plain and simple. I don't care what Dr. Ben say when we start dealing with Cleopatra. I don't care what Dr. Ben and J.A. Rogers say. Cleopatra was not a black African. This is just how it is. Plain and simple. There's too many lies in the conscious community. And what hurts me is y'all don't check sources. Y'all are still online talking about World 16 crucified saviors, Heru, Mithra, the Bible is... Y'all are crazy with it. Y'all still don't know what primary sources are because Runoko Rashidi said it, because Sarah Sutin said he said it, because Polite said it. Y'all are gonna say y'all are gonna just repeat it without doing research. Y'all are not researchers. And I'm gonna explain some of you Christians. These folk have religion. Y'all may not think it, but they have religion. Ray Hagen, all of them, young Pharaoh, Sarah Sutin Seti, they're all priests of Osiris. They are priests of the ancient mysteries. Now, forget the fact that these folk are West Africans. DNA proved these folk West African. History proved these folk West African. But these folk, for some reason, they want to be Egyptians. I asked these folk, 99% of the people who I talked to, I asked them, I said, well, when y'all say the white folk, Alexander the Great in 325, 323, when they started running amok and all of this stuff, when they came and they took over ancient Kemet, who was on the throne? 99% of the people in the conscious community cannot answer that. They don't know for 100 years, Persia, 200 years, what was that, 525 BC, that the Persians were already on the throne ruling Egypt, that the Egyptians welcomed Alexander the Great because it was the lesser of two evils. They don't know that. Why they don't know that? Because they want to make everything a black and white thing. So they're going to lie and they're going to switch history around. Could it be a lot of people are arguing and they're not dummies? Could it be that you black people in America are dealing with some type of identity crisis? Y'all done been everything. Y'all was from the tribe of Shabazz. Y'all came from another planet. You want some of the Bible. Yaku and all this madness in the Bible. Them folk in the conscious community, they too religious. So you're going to say some things that's scientific, some things that are history, but a lot of what y'all say, what y'all received, Noble Drew Ali, what y'all received from the Moore Science Temple, a lot of that stuff came from Master Fard Muhammad. The white man y'all call master. I read a few books. I know, when he got married, he had to put white on his birth certificate. He was really from here. He was really from there. Y'all don't know where he was from. What I do know is he came with some occult doctrine. He came with some secret teachings. Elijah Muhammad and other people were influenced by Freemasonry. Now, when you're influenced in Freemasonry, anybody that understands the craft, y'all don't have to go with facts. So when we deal with Hiram Abiff and the building of Solomon's temple, you don't have to go with facts. When Freemasons deal with the 47th problem of Euclid and Abraham, that's not historical facts. Euclid and Abraham were together. That's not historical facts, but you don't have to deal with it because you're trying to resurrect the people. You're trying to teach a doctrine. And in the conscious community, it's built on a bunch of lies, but they're trying to teach a doctrine for the uplifting of the people. I understand that. I know the circumstances that was going on around Noble Drew Ali. I know what was going on with Elijah Muhammad and how things were rough during Depression, how blacks were being disrespectful. I know and I understand all of this stuff. But when it comes down to it, so much of what the conscious community say is not historical facts. Another thing, we're dealing with them on the thread. Shout out to everybody in urban apologetics online doing their thing, on the block doing their thing. Pastors that's teaching this history. Pastors that's teaching these things. Shout out to them. I remember I did a video not too long ago with Dr. Mason, and he said that when he was in his doctoral program, and a lot of people don't, and that stuck a chord with me, a lot of people don't understand this. He said when he was in his doctoral program, you still need somebody in the specific field, even though you may have primary sources, you need somebody in the specific field that's trained in that field to guide you in the direction. A lot of people are quoting Nicaea and quoting this and quoting that, and then the Greeks and the Romans took over Judaism, and you got to understand the white man gave you the book and all this crazy stuff. Y'all saying a bunch of stuff, but you don't have your timelines together. I keep telling everybody, my Sunday school people, Sunday seminary people, shout out to them. We always discuss timelines. These people are with these memes on Facebook and they're talking crazy. Your history is twisted. Plain and simple. Your history is twisted, and the conscious community is done. The conscious community is done. And stop inboxing me about the preachers and the money. I'm going to explain something to y'all I'm going to share with some pastors. I'm going to explain something to y'all about the conscious community and the formulation. And what's that brother name back in the days? He got the big black book with the red. His name is gonna come. Blueprint. The name of it is Blueprint. Amos Wilson. Amos Wilson said that one of the strongest organizations in Black America is the Black Church. I'm gonna throw something out there to y'all. Could the enemy be using or formulated the conscious community to attempt to tear down the Black Church? Check the scoreboard. We got more buildings. We got more buses. We got more education. Coming out of Jim Crow, antebellum slavery, the Black Church has done more than anybody that's that's dealing with their script. Any Freemason. Any conscious person, when it comes down to any conscious person, the Black Church has done more. So now there's an attack on the Black Church. They have the money. They can do some things in the community now. Now, to be honest, have a lot of pastors been doing what they're supposed to do far as building in the community, in the situation that we're in as a people? We're going to discuss that. And more could be done. But conscious community, y'all have been around for 100 good years. What building do y'all own? What have y'all done? Any hurricane relief? What schools have y'all opened up? Hospitals, doctors? Who have y'all paid to go to college? What have y'all done? I'm aggravated. Y'all can tell I'm aggravated, but it's a bunch of lies. That Amos Wilson thing is something interesting. But y'all have to be careful because Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, the more science, all those individuals there, polite with Dr. York. Dr. York did nothing. I don't care what you folks say. I'm still surprised some of y'all following Dr. York. This is how I know it's a sin problem. It's something deep in your soul because your minds are twisted. He's up top doing 135, and y'all still think he can walk through walls? You still think the mothership is coming for him? Y'all talk scientific and y'all say that we follow blind faith and we believe in the God in the sky. Y'all believe in magic. The story of Yaku, what Elijah Muhammad told y'all. No evidence. The tribe of Shabazz, what Malcolm X told y'all. Y'all got to get it together. Matter of fact, y'all just jump in the casket. The funeral we're going to take place. We're going to have a eulogy. Conscious community is dead. Another reason that I'm doing this is I do care for a lot of people in the conscious community. I meet to people and I talk and I'm back and forth with a couple of people on the internet. And the hurtful thing is they say they came out of the church to walk into this new truth. They found out that King Tut was black. And then we'll talk about Sheikh Anta Diop and Ivan Van Sertima. I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of things, but I'm just freestyling right now. And they said they came out of that to walk in the truth. When they found out that Mithra and Horus were born of virgins, that's madness. Y'all are going with Kersey Graves, and like we've said in previous videos, this is established on white spiritualists. And these are all lies. Y'all have no proof for it, but y'all heard it and y'all picked it up and y'all ran with it. Now, of course, I got my church people saying the mere fact that they could run away from Jesus, that means they were never in the church anyway. They were in religion, but they never had a real relation with the Most High. But I like what the other pastor said that we were interviewing the other day, Pastor Damon. He said if you're really a believer, he said you can be thrown off and you can get into that other stuff, what I call madness, but the spirit of the Most High is gonna bring you back. You're gonna come back. You're not gonna stay deceived. This is my cry. This is my plea. Y'all in the conscious community that left and y'all left the church and say y'all walking in the truth, listening to some mess on Signet. And shout out to Signet. He doing what he do. He doing what he do. And y'all walked away from that. Y'all say y'all did research. Just re-examine. That's what research is. Re-examine what you found out or you think you found out about the Nicene Council. Re-examine what you think you found out about Heru, about Krishna being born of a virgin, walking on water, having 12 disciples. Re-examine that. You'll find out those are lies from Kersey Graves. Black Lives Matter. There's too many lies in the conscious community, and I understand what white people have done. We're trying to bang on that white Jesus. I don't want the white Jesus. People in my cipher don't want the white Jesus. We understand the psychological effects of the white Jesus. We have no problem with that. But Mom and them used to say two wrongs don't make a right. Y'all not going to try to make Cleopatra and Socrates and King James and everybody else black. They're not black. And it's okay. You folk got your own history in West Africa. Accept that and love it. Y'all come here and understand it's an identity crisis because of slavery and everything. Find yourself. You can find yourself in Christ. I'm saying all that to say you can find yourself in Christ. Don't follow the religious madness of young Pharaoh. It's religious madness. It's not based on scientific fact. What they blame us for, they're walking in faith also. Walk with faith with more facts. Come back to Jesus. The Bible is the truth and the only truth. I'm Brother Berean. If you like what you heard, subscribe.